child the way he treated Jeffrey. I didn't agree with that. So I don't know what Jay thinks about that, but he just kind of shut down to me and was attacking everybody.
Yeah, it wasn't so much just the shutdown for me. It was just the whole fact that you got butt hurt and went all the way into your feelings to just attack this woman's children. And I know it's gonna be people gonna be like, you attack the children, woman's children, but that's what you did. You called her children out to the floor for what? Because she's kissing somebody, and I get it. Human emotions, we don't like to see our person kissing anybody or doing anything like that who we feel like we have a connection with. But the truth is, y'all not in a relationship.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
she hasn't made no stake. Y'all haven't made nothing committed to each other or anything like that. So
Hmm.
she is actually free, and you need to control them emotions a little bit. Like,
And yeah, we talk about this all the time. These over emotional men today. The kiss
yeah,
wouldn't bother me as much as it bothers some of these guys. It was a peck. There was no tongue. There was none of that
Hang on,
passion.
guys. How do you know there was no tongue? Hang on, guys. We're gonna get started.
I didn't.
Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
Welcome in, welcome in. We're back with Ready to Love, season 7, I think, Miami, episode 5. And guys, what were you saying before we jumped in? You guys were saying something about who was butthurt.
Who butthurt?
Yeah, you said
don't
something.
go there, Alex.
Watch it, Alex. Okay.
Jay
We
is my counsel. I'm not going with that. Jay is my
Right,
counsel.
we are an inclusive community here. We just want you to
Yeah.
know. Hey guys, welcome in. Actually, Aubrey, we're getting started. We're ready to love, and these guys said we're gonna try something different today. So we gave you a little taste of the fun we have back in the green room before the show actually starts. Want to say hi and shout out to Joshua, Swoop Live, LMV, and Swoop Life, and everybody else. Roro, you better be in these comments, Roro. Watch it now. High Vibe, Patricia, Mimi, and Edward Smart. Hey guys, welcome in. So what did you guys think? This was a pretty interesting episode this week, and Alex said he had to come in all his full glory because why, Alex?
I'm taking my victory lap because I told you guys last week Corvea was going, and I told you guys why.
Why did you say? Remind me once again, because I honestly did not think that she was gonna go. Why do you think she left?
Because the same reason women hate when men lead with sex, men hate when women lead with money.
Oh my goodness. Anybody want to dispute that? Because I don't feel she led with money, but
She
Kimberly. Anyway, we know what you think. Kimberly, what are your thoughts?
Uh-oh. I agree. She did leave with money, but I don't have a problem with it. I feel like you should, let your person know what matters to you. If people can talk about sex and children and, all those things, I don't feel there's a problem if you want to leave with, you want a provider. So I'm Team Corvea on that one. And I got to agree with the magnetic repellent that she did lead a little with money.
Okay. Well, Ron, I know you got some thoughts on that too, Ron. What are your thoughts?
My problem is not that she so much that she led with money. I mean, she just didn't have the connections. Her connection that she had wasn't cool enough with the guys in order to get the save. And to get that save that early, like I said, that's got to be your boy. And you get, hey, you're doing it for him. So I'm not surprised.
But not to cut you off, but real quick, wasn't DeMario trying to save her? You know, we
He
saw
was trying to, but he didn't have enough
Yeah.
influence with the guys. It has to be anonymous. So
Okay.
like somebody like me, I was cool with the guys. So if I needed to save, I could make, you know, a couple calls or some shugs and stuff, and they might just do it for me just because I'm one of the guys. But it seems like he's a little more of a lonerish, but you know, yeah, kind of like, yeah, you get that vibe on him and stuff. So I didn't think he was strong enough to get that save at this point.
You have to have that influence, and that goes to show that power influence. Jay, what are your thoughts?
Apologies if you don't hear me because I might hit some dead spots, but I don't think it's so much that she just led with money because it's kind of expected. We are hypergamous, so like we date up anyway. But I think it's just that's the only playing field she stayed on. She didn't go anywhere else with any of our conversation for most of the part until we got to DeMario, as far as what we seen. So, and from what we can tell from a lot of guys, they just never got much of Corvea. So I think it's just the combination of the two.
Well, as Alex takes his victory lap. Wait a minute, I just realized something. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. I get it. I get it. No, that's okay, Ryan. But
you know what
yeah.
I do now?
That's what I'm gonna say. I don't know why Ryan is not on camera. I'm trying to say one day
we always get to
have some nice words for your boy, and you don't want to be on camera for this. I don't understand.
I'm doing
he's hiding. He's hiding. Yeah, he's hiding because
I'm just doing some busy work, but I'll hop on at some point.
It's crazy because I came on camera so Ron wouldn't feel alone, but now he's been an avatar.
You know, right? But I was gonna say, but to be fair too, Ron did inform me as always. He's so professional and polite. He did let me know that he was, you know, in the midst of traveling. So we thank you, Ron, for being here, Jay, and even Alex and Kimberly. So guys, we'll get started. The chat is going real good. Hey there, Geo Blogs. Hi, Vibe. Mimi, hey, Monique finally made it in, huh, Monique? What you say? We need what? We need Ron to face the music for Jamel. I mean Blake. Yeah, right.
He did good today. I don't hear it.
Whatever you say. Well, anyway. Okay, so guys, sadly, we opened to find that as we talked about, that Corvea has been eliminated off the yacht. She says her goodbyes, and in DeMario's confessional, he shows him talking about her being his main connection to what Jay was saying, you know. And some people in the chat were saying that maybe he wasn't just only trying to save Corvea, he was really trying to save himself because he has no other connections. Yeah. The singles head to Hard Rock to party. Tommy tells the ladies that they have the power to eliminate this week. Morgan asked DeMario how he feels about Corvea leaving, and he definitely seems lost. Meanwhile, Suanne, Marcia, and Jeffrey chat. And Mark Anthony. Guys, what did you think about the whole Hard Rock? I mean, what were your thoughts about these people as they were gathering and chatting at the various tables? Any observations or thoughts about any of that?
You know what? My main observation, one of my first observations, where I told you guys last week that Jeffrey seems to me like, although very beautiful to look at, she's a very cold woman. She seems very cold to me. And when everybody's supposed to be congregating and laughing and joking and discussing things, she has her compact open, like looking at herself and admiring herself and doing this thing, totally disconnected to me, in my opinion. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about with Jeffrey. And she keeps showing it. So I hope you guys are noticing that.
Yeah, I did. It was very blatant this week, her sitting at the table. And she was with the guy that she says she has the deepest connection with, which is Mark Anthony, right?
Right.
She was at the table with Mark Anthony. I was like, wow, you know, you think she'd be paying attention. I didn't know maybe, though, too, if she was doing it because seated next to her, of course, was what she calls, the lady she calls Advocate Sue.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know. one other thing I want to point out before we move on. I don't know if anybody else felt this way. A lot of you are well traveled, even more so than I am. But I just really love this season. I'm really loving all the exterior views we're getting of Miami, of the water, being out on the yacht, and then this time in Hard Rock Cafe, the view of the skyline was outstanding. Did anybody else notice that?
Yeah, it's great photography.
Yeah, the
You know,
budget went up somewhere.
Yeah.
What, Ryan? What'd you say?
I said the budget went up somewhere.
Yeah, that was it. It did look richer. It looked very opulent. I was like, okay, because before I was like, well, I keep hearing all these great things about Miami, but just from watching the show, I hadn't really seen a whole lot. But
Yeah, seven seasons, we gotta save them pennies and finally getting them.
Okay, I didn't know one thing about it. People keep talking about will Ready to Love go back to the resort season where everybody's on the resort. I think that's very interesting too. But we see Blake sitting next to Sue Ann, and later on they have a one-on-one, and you know he's basically kind of checking in on her. But I don't know. I feel like a little bit of a different vibe between Sue Ann and Blake now. Does anybody else kind of catch that, or is it just me?
Somebody got background noise on their mic. I'm not sure who it is.
I think it may be Shay as she's traveling.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, I'm on mute.
Oh, she's on mute.
Okay.
Okay. So maybe it's Ron or Kimberly. So if you guys can,
I hear it too. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you guys can mute until it's time to speak, because we hearing background noise.
Not me. I muted.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're muted.
That must be
Okay.
Kimberly then. Kimberly, could you mute for a second? Please, thank you. There it is.
There it is. There it is. Thank you, Kimberly.
I thought it was just me hearing this. I'm just trying to ignore it. But go ahead, Alex. You were saying.
Yeah. Don't forget you're muted, Kimberly, when it's time to speak. But no, I think that Blake sits down with Sue Ann because who else is he going to sit down
Nobody.
with? That's his greatest advocate right now.
Advocate Sue.
Yeah, advocate Sue. She's an attorney. She's a counselor. She's all that. And
she's the woman that's gonna save his behind.
Well, listen, I've never seen anybody in the bottom this many times early in the season and still survive. I guess we'll get to that later.
That's very interesting. Like, what is it, 4 or 5 times now? He's been at the bottom, called out for elimination dates. Mm-hmm. But we'll get to it, like you said.
Yeah,
we'll get to it.
She's being loyal though. He's following. I don't mind the relationship. I think it's pretty good. Maybe I'm the only one.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like when you go to camp and you made your only friend out of everybody there, and y'all just gonna stick together. That's what it's giving me.
I mean, let's keep it real. She's a very accomplished woman.
Yeah, beautiful.
Kind of has like a vibe where she gets along with guys. You know what I mean? Advocates, whatever you want to call it, things of that nature. That's attracted to men. Are attracted to that. And she has a little loyal side too, which is even more attractive. I think she's definitely growing on Blake.
Yes, but do he find her attractive? That's the thing.
I
don't feel
she's a catch. I mean,
we know
she's for somebody, but not. I don't think for Blake. I don't
definitely
think that's
for Blake.
what
I think the things that he admires in a woman, that somebody that's highly successful, loyal, things of those nature. In that nature, I think that she fits those boxes. And she's growing on him, and I think he's the type of person that's going to show.
Growing on him like a fungus, maybe.
You got. I mean, you don't know these people. They got to grow on you.
That's just my expression. Don't pay me any attention, Ryan.
Well, knowing him personally, he's the type of person. He's going to reciprocate the loyalty. So if she does show it, he's going to do his best to bring that back.
Ron, there's kind of a statement / question for you, but Kenya from Cali is saying, but Ron, you didn't mention anything about her face, about Sue Ann's face. You saying she's accomplished and loyal, but what about her face? I guess is what Kenya's saying.
I mean, yeah, she gets pretty. Everybody. I mean, she's cute. I mean, I'm not.
Okay. Put a pin right there. Hold on. Okay. Alex, would you address what the unspoken elephant in the room is right now?
Blake don't want the rah-rah?
wrong.
No. I'm just saying you're laughing because I know you get it. Like, everything that Ron is saying, but sometimes it's what people don't say. What do you?
Yeah.
Well, let me just ask you directly. What do you feel? Do you feel like Blake, Jamel, whatever his real name is? Do you feel like he's really attracted to Sue Ann, the advocate?
The elephant in the room to me is Blake is trying to hang on to the end, and Sue Ann is what he's hanging on to at this point. I don't think he really wants her like that, honestly.
People grow on you and stuff like that. I didn't want Alexis when I first met. Like, you know what I mean? They grow on you. It's just one of those type of things we're ready to love. And you're in a very emotional, intense situation. I mean, like I said, I've been there. So I can understand when somebody said that happens, how it happens.
But give me another connection Blake has. What's another connection?
He doesn't. Most of the women, the only woman there that says she understands him is Mercedes, and she even admitted, and we'll get to that. But I'm just gonna say,
So I have a quick question. I'm sorry
that she did not have a romantic connection. Go ahead, Jay.
I got a quick question for the guys then. Okay, so since Ron's saying that people grow on you, does the physical attraction, the presence of that person also grow for you guys as men?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. What say that question again? Because I didn't hear all of it. I'm sorry.
I was trying to ask if the physical appearance of the woman grows for men, because there's an argument. I'm sorry, this is personal, whatever, with my group. But there's an argument that men don't grow into attraction.
No, absolutely.
Of a woman.
Yeah, we do.
So yeah. So she might not be that number one looker for you, but you can grow to like her.
Well, some things that you don't see right away. You know what I mean? From the looks standpoint with guys. So, like, he might look at her a different view now and say, man, she's a lot more prettier than maybe I led on at first. I didn't see that. And see, we have moments like that as men, I think.
And this has nothing to do, I just clarify, this has nothing to do with Sue Ann or any of these ladies. I'm just asking a general question for.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Blake, you're spending time with this woman, you're getting to know her. She's been loyal to you. She's a catch. She's super accomplished, got her thing going on. She's very, she's a good person. It seemed like a good match to me. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't like the fact that people are saying at him at 44, who's probably looking for a woman more like her, is not that attraction is going to be the number one thing to stop it. If he's really looking for a real relationship and ready to love, attraction ain't nothing. Attraction is what Jeffrey's doing with Mark Anthony, and we know how that's going to end up.
Yeah,
so,
true.
Right.
But
right.
But let me just say this. So that's interesting you brought that up, because that's also a woman with 3 kids already versus Mark Anthony, who's single, has no children of his own. And then with your friend, it seems, I think he has 3 children already. And I don't believe Sue Ann has any children. So I wonder, because he doesn't seem to really be wanting to have any more children. So that'll be very interesting if they ever get to that discussion, Ron, about having more children.
It's needed because it seems like she would want to have a child. I would think if she doesn't have one.
Yeah, and to answer Jay's question directly from my perspective, it's a quality time issue. So even though you might say, "Oh, she's cute," but the more time you spend with them, they do things that make you more attracted to them. It may be the way she laughs. It may be the way she looks when you guys are watching a movie and she's getting sleepy. She looks so cute when she's sleepy. All these kind of things start to matter the more time you spend with a person. That's what makes them more attractive. And if they're accomplished, if they're about their business, that helps. An organized person. So there's a variety of things that help make the person more attractive, other than a look standpoint, other than physical attraction.
Yeah, don't let that sex game be good.
Oh,
thank you.
Yeah, it might
Thank you.
Oh my, we're getting a little under the sheets here.
I appreciate y'all for answering that. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome.
And so we see Cynthia greeting Anthony warmly on their date, and I really felt like I feel like Cynthia has a kind and sincere personality, and Anthony the same. What were your assessment or observations about Cynthia and Anthony's date? Anthony, by the way, is the gentleman who is the nurse practitioner, by the way, in case you forgot. And he also has a little daughter.
Yeah, I called it a match last week. Remember that?
Oh, you did? Yeah, you did say that. That's right. And Okay, very good, very good. I see them as matching very, very evenly yoked too. What are your thoughts, Alex?
I think she really enjoyed him. I think he enjoyed her. He saw her smile from a mile away, you know, and he practically ran over to her when he saw that smile, like it attracted him so much. I think they're enjoying each other. I think they have a lot in common. You know, they had a good conversation. But I think again, the next few episodes, time will tell. Again, spending time together, and we don't know about the discussions off camera during the course of the week, so they may be having a lot of those, of course, as Ron always alludes to. So we'll see the next few episodes how it's coming along. But I like it so far.
Oh, and our esteemed and knowledgeable audience members are telling us Suanne Kenya from Cali says Suanne has a son.
She has two
Theme,
daughters.
Theme says someone has two daughters. Theme, who are you referring to? Are you referring to Suanne? And welcome in too. So nice to see you. I don't know. Somebody says she has a son. Somebody says she, but they didn't say the name.
No, Suanne.
And then High Vibe says that she didn't know Suanne had. Yeah, I haven't heard her mention, so I thought she didn't have any children. Mimi says Susu's just going along together to get along. She knows Blake is not it. Hopefully, the eyeball emoji.
It's a match.
Yeah, I see her looking this week. I saw her. Who was that? She was flirting with a little bit. Was it Mark Anthony? No.
The other Anthony.
Anthony?
Yeah.
The nurse practitioner?
Yep.
Oh, hey! Oh, the audacity! Get in here! Get in here!
I want to hear what Kimberly thinks.
Yes, Kimberly. Yes, thank you.
Thanks. Is my sound better? Hopefully, I don't know what's going on. I'm just sitting at my desk. Okay.
We hear you. You sound good.
Oh, good. So I like the connection with Cynthia and Anthony. It was surprising to see him last episode. I was like, where in the world has he been? Because he looked like someone new on the show, but it did seem genuine. Cynthia is definitely my favorite. I just like how she connects and opens up with the guys, even with her first connection that went or left Andre. I'm hopeful for her. I really think she has a good connection. It was a genuine, it seems like conversation, and she really seems here for the process. So I'm rooting for Cynthia and whoever.
Okay. All right. You guys like the video. If you're in here now, like the video. If you're watching on replay, like the video. I've been watching you guys on the replay. You sneaking in and checking out the replay, but you're not, paying that toll by liking the video. It's free 99, by the way. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Come on, the audacity. We know you. We know you're Keena. Keena, pop on in here. You got the link. But anyway, so we continue on about the dates. Jeffrey meets with Demario. Oh, now this is where it gets interesting. So Jeffrey has her date with Demario so they can hash things out. She asked him about what did he think about the boat party, and then they begin to discuss her being occupied kissing Mark Anthony. Guys, what do you have to say about this fiasco?
No, it's just no. I think they need to move on. I'm not a fan of Jeffrey and Demario together. And I think he was being a little too hard on her about this kiss. Like she said, she was just playing the game. Mm-hmm. If you watched the show earlier, you know how I feel about kissing, so we're not going to go there.
Yeah, you guys, well, wait a minute. Let me get a shameless plug in. Yeah, you guys have to go over and check out that Married at First Sight video to find out how Kimberly personally feels about kissing and physical touch.
Yeah, but go ahead, Kimberly. I just feel like Demario overreacted in that part, and maybe it was because they were leading up to maybe getting her out of there. I don't know. Maybe they're teaming up, trying to, get her off the show. I'm not sure what happened there, but it seems like he just kind of flipped over a simple kiss, and yeah, it was a bit much.
Yeah. I don't know if Ron could address this. Maybe he can address this better than any of us, being an alumni. But as a man, I don't see a big deal with the kissing game. Okay, she kissed him. So what? I mean, we're being competitive. Now, next time it's my turn to get a kiss. I mean, I don't know what's being discussed behind the scenes, whether she's telling people you're my one and only and then kiss somebody else. Maybe that's why he's so upset. But I doubt she told Demario he's her one and only. I doubt that. The kiss would not bother me So I don't know, Ron. Maybe you can explain that. Why these guys get so upset over a kiss? I don't understand it.
Yeah, Ron, explain to us.
I personally would have been gone. I think he addressed it, felt the right way. You ask a lot from these guys during this process. You act in a short period of time. You want me to be in a public global relationship with this woman I'm supposed to make it to the end with. And then now production's gone, everything. I'm on my own. I got to start paying for stuff now. And I got to be in this real relationship and I can't move the way I want to move. And all eyes are on me. The least I can ask you is not to kiss another dude right in front of me. To have to bring that to the plate once this process is over. So I'm thinking in game when I'm in this situation. I'm thinking, okay, what's going to happen when I have to make it to the end? Because I'm going to be in a public relationship if we make it to that gate. And if I break up with her in a week, everybody in the whole world is going to blame me because I'm the guy, and you've seen that happen time after time. It's my fault. She's going to play victim. I'm going to look like an a-hole. So it's a lot on the guys. So I'm not saying you got to be perfect, but I don't want to see you kiss another guy and then I have to get into all this.
But Ron, here's the thing. Here's the reality of it. How many guys have she kissed before Ready to Love and done God knows what with before Ready to Love? That's why it doesn't bother me as much.
Okay. And then how many, and let's say this too while you're saying it that way. How many women has he kissed on the show behind the scenes? See, that's what I'm thinking.
That's different if he's been kissing women, but I don't think he has. And he's just saying, it's early. You kissed the guy like it was nothing. You don't know him that well. They're like, y'all had like this super connection. He didn't know about the date. Now that's the part that people are not seeing. So he's really thinking this kiss came out of nowhere, like she was just thirsty for.
Yeah, because he says that she kissed a random, right?
Yeah, so he didn't know about the date. We don't know about everybody's dates, so that's sometimes it comes blindsided. So he wasn't expecting her to kiss him or pick him, and probably even knew that they were even talking. And he's in the gentleman's lounge, so I got the bet that when they give their top three, that Jeffrey wasn't even in Mark Anthony's top three at first. I guarantee you that. So he doesn't even know that they even have a connection or he likes her or anything. This is totally left field to him. And when he saw it, he was like, you know what I mean? And he's thinking long term. He's thinking, if I got to go to the end with this woman and this stuff's about to get real, because it gets real for the guys, like I said, after the process, is this the type of person I want to be? I have a right to be picky because all the pressure is going to be on me if I make it to the end with this woman. She's going to have a take with me.
Mark Anthony don't want them 3 kids. I'm telling you that right now.
Right. We one thing we can see as viewers, I don't know how my girl got to be so delusional, but one thing we can clearly see, Mark Anthony is not checking for no woman with no 3 kids. That's not his. Nope, and nope. So but to your point, I mean, a lot of people are still asking why he got so bent out of shape, but actually I do see it, and I've been kind of rooting for Jeffrey, but I think some mistakes that she made this episode is that, one, she wouldn't let go of the whole Blake thing on her date, on the double date with with Marcia and Blue. She kind of like kept browbeating the whole dead issue, right?
I don't blame her for that, Aubrey.
But hold on, but to come back to this one, because we're going to talk about that some more, and we can argue back and forth on that. But to get back to the whole kiss thing, I think that she shot herself in the foot for sure, because for me, again, this guy, Mark Anthony, he's not checking for her. I don't care how fat her rear end is and how fine she is. He's not checking for her with those 3 kids. So for her to let this man publicly kiss her in front of a guy who really was seriously interested in her and was willing to take on the challenge of a woman with 3 whole children to raise, she shot herself in the foot with that. So that was a very big misstep, in my opinion. So I could see why he would be upset, and I could see why her being just used to being this beauty. It kind of gives me, if you guys remember Charisse from last season, also in Miami, it kind of gives me like those delusional type of things. Like, I've always been this hot chick, but you can't be this hot chick and have these 3 kids and think that you're going to get away with murder. You just can't.
And you're right. It's who she picked too. He knows. You know what I mean? Like, it was like in my situation when Alexis kissed AJ. I'm like, AJ don't want you. You know what I mean? Like, this
right, exactly.
This is like, you know what I mean? To me, I'm like,
exactly. Good example, Ron.
Talking about your son on the phone all day, but and this the person you choose. It'd be different if you choose a guy who I felt really liked you, had some substance, and was going to take care of you. You know what I mean? That's a whole different story. But just to go for the guy you feel that's better looking just because you're making a mockery of process, you make a mockery of the show to me. Like, it's just a lot, like, for no reason. It feels like a game, and it just turned him off. I can understand where he was at.
Right, because she even called it a game. She said, "Well, I was just playing the game," but I feel like, and I see people in our chat, yeah, I get it. Everybody's gonna have their feelings or their viewpoint. Yeah, I think he did overreact because, as Jay, are you still there? I think as Jay pointed out, the fact that he brought in the kids, like, what will your kids think about this? What would they say? That was very underhanded and unnecessary. But to another point, I feel like he brought that up because he had strong feelings for this woman, and I think she underestimated the connection that she had with him, and she destroyed it just that quickly. Because just as quickly as you can make a connection, guess what? A misstep and being disloyal can break a connection. Am I right?
Yeah, and she's gonna, like I said, she's gonna be single. A year from now, she's gonna be single. So that's just how that's gonna work. I agree with you, Arby. That he really had feelings for it. He probably would have maybe been her best chance to go in there and take care of them 3 kids. But she's used to doing this on her own. You know what I mean? She's gonna be single. That's
why I think she's so cold. I think she's cold because whatever happened in her past and her history has turned her into this person. But I think just DeMario, his ego was just bruised, and he was in his feelings. He was overly emotional, in my opinion. And whenever you bring somebody kids into stuff and start doing that, those are low blows, man. You know how people feel about their children.
Yeah.
So he should have just kept the children out of it.
I felt I wish he had. Jay, I'm sorry. Were you going to say something? I didn't want to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No. I want to hear what Jay thinks.
Right. Jay?
Yeah. I'm going to leave off where Alex just left off with the ego. The thing about it, and this goes for male, female, it doesn't matter. The ego is prideful. The ego is possessive. The ego is cocky. The ego is arrogant. The ego is a lot of negative things. And that's what you said. He bruised his ego by sitting there and addressing the fact that she kissed somebody else. Don't nobody, honest to truth, no human on living earth wants to see somebody that they're interested in kissing another person that they're not getting paid and acting and doing. Half the time, we already see how them actors that be in relationships with people will be broken up the next week for doing that stuff then too. So I can understand how hard it is to watch somebody, especially just totally blindside you with this kiss out of nowhere. And his biggest thing is, you don't even know this dude. It's like, true, I don't know you either. And the fact that she kept it with, I was just playing the game. That's a whole nother thing too. It's like, okay, well, why you can't play the game with me? Like, right. I'm supposed to be your choice as far as I know. As far as what you telling me on the phone and the last date we had, I thought we was doing good. Like you totally left field. And the energy she comes with it. And I'm not mad at her. I'm not totally mad at her in this moment. I'm not going to even play like I am. Because she's off of him. She been off of him.
She been off of him. Wow.
She been off of him. Okay. She was only
so you saying she did it?
Yes.
She did it intentionally. Okay, you know what? I did start to think that as I rewatched this episode. I said, you know what? She must have already decided. She don't want DeMario.
There's no way. Yeah. She had no apologetic energy coming out of her at all. Like, I was just playing a game. My bad. It was none of that. It was, I'm just playing a game. Deal with it.
Well, that's because Jeffrey's cold like that.
Yeah. But I hate to sit here and make it a Blake thing, but I feel like it's still a Blake thing because even Kenyon from Cali said in the chat, DeMario wouldn't have been mad if it was a less attractive person. I can't make Blake mad with DeMario. I got to find somebody just as attractive, in my opinion.
Oh, you added a whole nuance to it. You added the get back on the Blake tip, on the Jamel tip. Okay, you guys are playing chess, and I'm still on check. You guys are playing chess, and I'm still on checkers.
But like Ron said, you gonna shoot, and you said it too. Like she gonna shoot herself in the foot trying to sit here and please these people and think I'm attacking other people with Mark Anthony. Like she's playing the game, like fully playing the game. And I totally can't be mad at her because I'm like, you're not here for love. I'm sorry. You're totally playing the game. From every move that I'm watching her make, she's totally playing the game and hope that maybe she might find it in this. But you're going at Mercedes, you're going at Marcy, you're going at Blake, you're going at Demario, you're going at Sue Ann, you're going at damn near everybody without them really knowing that you're doing it because Mercedes likes Mark Anthony, you know it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that he's not something that you would want to go for, but they're more aligned. You know, deep down inside, this man don't want no kids. Stop playing.
Exactly.
I don't take her for that stupid. Like, seriously, I don't.
Well, she's certainly the Alexis Carrington from Dynasty of this season. She's definitely that, you know. But I think I don't know how much of this is actually production with this kissing game because it caused problems in
well, it's truth or dare. Truth or dare is gonna cause problems, and even at your small parties at home. Like you play it, and you always we see it on the movies where you playing and one person do the truth or dare, and she kiss another guy, and that guy over there butt hurt in the closet crying and stuff. Now, like,
but even at the group date, Jay, even at the group date, why would you have Blake and Jeffrey come to that group?
No, that's production.
Well, that's definitely production.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But while we're speaking production, let's talk to another RTL alum, Miss Keena. What do you think about? Hey,
what's up, guys?
Hey. Oh, the audacity! I'm sorry, love. I had sent that to your IG, but I guess you didn't look over there. But that's okay. But tell us.
I never got it on my IG, but I would say. I would say for the kissing game, the production, I know for a fact they tell them to play. They tell them to play truth or dare, and they tell them they would like someone to give a kiss.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, so I mean, but you don't have to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean, but they're telling you, okay, we would like someone to give a kiss. Well, you know, but it's up to you to actually do that. So if I'm really not feeling you, why in the world would I do that? Or if I did, I would just give you a kiss on the cheek, keep it cute or whatever. I might give two people a kiss on the cheek. But
there you go.
Like to make it seem a little even. The whole lip thing, to me, if you don't really like someone like that, you don't do that.
I think to her defense, though, Jeffrey, people gotta understand, and I've dated women with multiple kids.
Okay.
They date different. They have to date different.
They do.
They do. So yeah, you got 3 kids there. You doing some Netflix and chilling. You doing some other, some stuff for coming in order for you to still hold your household and still have but it's not all relationships coming in. Matter of fact, sometimes you might not think that you could have one or even deserve certain types of relationships. So a lot of their stuff is kind of more on the playful side, not as serious with their dating, things of that nature. So you can't blame her for that. That's just part of her situation.
Yeah. And Ron, you know what the elephant in the room is? Mm-hmm. You know what the elephant in the room is sometimes where a woman has multiple children and she's in the dating game? Sometimes men are trying to sense an air of desperation in her. You know, how desperate is she to find a stable man for her children, a stable man in her life who's going to be with her and not just drop a child on her and leave and so forth. And if a lot of men sense that desperation, they kind of pounce on that and prey on that desperation. I've seen it, you know. So that's probably why she's so cold and in such a defense mechanism and standoffish, and that kind of cold stare that she has. Because if you look at her stare, it'll freeze you to death.
A lot of men use them single women, those single mothers and stuff. Let's just keep it real, for sex.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And she's like, okay, if you're going to use me for sex, and that's the mentality, I want the best looking dude I can have sex with. That's what his Mark Anthony thing is.
Well, now, on that note, oh my Lord. On that note, hey there, RX Nails. On that note, let me get back over here to these cliff notes because I don't know what to say. Right. Okay. So the kiss, they talk about that. They have 2 points of view. Who's right? We talked about that. Wait a minute. Who's right? Oh my Lord.
It's hilarious.
It is. It really is,
Oh
especially when
my
I
God.
can't find my notes.
Yeah.
Marcia puts a date together with Blue, Blake, and Jeffrey, and this is
Yeah.
what you were talking about, Alex. This is that date where Blake says he's said his piece, and hopefully their chakras will align somehow. They proceed to make individual collages, and at some point, basically, Marcia trying to facilitate this whole date and the tension that's in the room, the elephant, so to speak. Marcia asked Blake about it, and Blake politely declines to really elaborate. He says it's over, which I thought was a good choice. I have to give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
Blake does the right thing. Jamil Blake slash Blake Jamil. Um, but then when she asked Jeffrey, I personally, just me, I felt like Jeffrey should have taken that same tone, because if it had it been me, I would have said, I agree with him, what he said, and
But
let it go at that.
but why is Marcia poking the bear? I know production probably told her to
Production.
do that.
We know
but,
it's production.
This is a
And
setup
even
date, and Blake
and
saw it.
right, and even in a
mile
real world,
away.
let's just look at it this way, because these things can happen in a real world without production, without this being a TV show. In the real world, I still would have kept it at, there's some things, the less words you say, the less you can be misconstrued. If you say no, I'll pass on that. It's really no way for you to misconstrue that. But if I start talking and making apologies and trying to explain myself, you see what I'm saying? You get into a bigger jam. Let sleeping dogs lie.
And what's interesting, before I let one of the ladies go, because I'm interested in what Keena thinks about this specifically. But Blake was not interested in Marcia either, which I don't know how that's possible, because when Marcia, I didn't even know when Marcia walked in, her body is like bow, 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 bow. I didn't know she was built like that.
Oh yeah, we knew that.
I didn't know. So
now you know what you're gonna do about it. She's over there on IG. You talked to her yet?
No.
What you gonna do now that you know? Because no, really seriously. All jokes aside, I have to say, I am a woman. I am straight. I love men. I'm strictly, the D word, right? But I'm gonna tell you something. I have to say, as I'm watching this cast, I will say, I believe collectively this is the most gorgeous set of women Ready to Love has ever had. Collectively, they are gorgeous. They are built. They have body, all the way. So.
And that's why I don't know why Blake wouldn't be interested in Marcia. He wasn't interested in that group date at all. But I want to know what Keena thinks about that.
Keena?
Yeah, Blake isn't interested in anybody in this show.
Correct.
He's just there to play the game of love and see how far he can get. Why he wants to do this, I don't know. But I mean, but I will say, I do like how he shut Jeffrey down. Like, I'm good. We're not doing this today. I know he saw her coming. He was like, nope, I'm not about to do this. I'm not about to feed into your negativity today, because Jeffrey, she wants to poke. And she likes that negative attention. And I like that he didn't give it to her. So I thought he did a good job, but definitely that was a production date.
Yeah, definitely.
And you could tell nobody, because Blue doesn't have a connection with Marcia. None of them, they don't have a connection. And Jeffrey,
regardless of her body, yada, huh?
Yeah, he said it in the last date that he wasn't connected with her. He sees her as a homegirl. So for them to put them on a date, they knew that there was no connection on both parties. It was just, a production date. But I think Blue is a really nice guy, so he can go with the flow.
Definitely.
Blue, I wish I was a little bit younger, because you know what? I knocked all them girls out of Miami, and you would be mine. I like you, Blue. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I on the air? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you on the air. Yeah.
Have you been to his page? Let me ask you that question. Have you been on his page yet?
Hello. We already connected, if you know what I mean. You know I've been on Blue's page. You saw my story today. Come on now.
Yeah, Blue got them eyes. He done mesmerized Aubrey. He got them eyes.
He got what I like, for sure.
You a mess.
He got what I like, for sure. I ain't gonna even hold y'all up.
Ask Kimberly what she thinks about Blue. I want to know what Kimberly thinks about.
Oh, Kimberly, don't get quiet over there. Come on now, what you think about Blue?
Oh no, not a fan of. Well, okay, I'm a fan of traveling, so I would let Blue take me on a date or two. But
You want Corbea? You want
I'm a
You
Corbea?
just use Blue to travel. Oh,
I'll let him
Blue,
pay for a couple trips.
I would never let Kimberly mistreat you like that, babe. Don't
he
we
said, Corbeia, listen, but I
Oh
gotta say
yeah,
something
you
nice.
give us Corvea vibes.
Yeah, I
And
gotta
we
say something
Corvea
nice
vibes.
about
I'm trying
Blake,
to
though.
get her over here, huh?
Right, yeah, I gotta say something nice about Blake because he's my
Yes.
Go
least
ahead.
favorite, but I do like the way he handled the situation. He wasn't trying to keep beating at the conversation with Jeffrey. He wanted to just let it go. So I'm proud of him for that. I don't think his connection is there, or like Keena said, that he's trying to connect with anyone. But
Susu.
now, if you want to talk, now we can
You
talk
don't want
about Mark
Susu.
Anthony.
Oh,
Now,
let's talk about
I
Mark Anthony. What is it you like about Mark Anthony? He's another one too.
yes, sir. Now I'll take him and be nice.
Be
But
nice.
I
Hey,
am. He's handsome. I like his
But
conversations.
what if he wanted to kiss you though?
Oh, he gonna have to wait.
Why? I'm telling you guys, you got to go over today. And by the way, we had another special guest on today, so go over there and find out who our special secret guest was, and find out
Yes.
what Kimberly's stance is on kissing.
hey, Kimberly, Mark Anthony or Tori?
Oh, I'm Mark
Ooh.
Anthony. I'm not big on locks.
You love Tori now.
Yes, sir. Now I can't. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I would take
he's
Mark
asking you.
Anthony.
Okay, so you're
I
on a
would
boat.
still.
You're on a boat floating, getting ready to go to an exotic island, and the captain tells you only one man can go with you. Both are on there. Do you throw Tori off, or do you throw Mark Anthony off and make it to the
I,
island?
I think I'm gonna throw Tori because I like my kidneys and I don't know what Mark Anthony's working with. So I want to keep the kidneys.
You guys are a mess. You are a mess. I tell you, I don't know what is going on. I don't know what's
Oh
going
my
on.
goodness.
We
So
proud of Blake though for this scene.
yeah, he did in that
Yes,
scene. In that scene,
that's
yes.
it.
Like I
That's the
said, I give
scene.
credit where credit is due. He did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, he saw that coming a mile away. That's set
It
up.
was,
Like,
oh yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if production gave him the line to give back to
no.
her. So,
When you walk in, these dates are expensive, like to put
okay,
together because you got to rent the place out. So if
right.
you're putting me on a date with two people I have no connection with, then I understand
Yeah.
it's another angle. And then they already talked
Ah.
to Marcia beforehand. They say, okay, your job is to push the narrative
Wait.
this way.
Hold on, Ron. I gotta say this word. Her job was to be the provocateur.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that word. That's my word.
And she didn't do it right because I was on it. They didn't show this episode, but I was on a date with Kyra and Venetia. And when I got on the date, I was like, okay, I only got these two girls' phone numbers. Like these are my homegirls with just a friendship. So why would I be on a date with them? And it seemed like a setup. And
Wait a minute. Who? Tell me again. Who were the two people on the date?
Venetia and Kyra.
Ah, okay. Yes.
So then after the production, Kyra told me production was yelling at her like, "You supposed to be a lawyer. You were supposed to drill him on this and this and this." And she was like, "He answered everything right. What was I supposed to do?" So these scenes happen like this on these setup scenes. So it was to try to provoke Blake. I would have fell for it. He didn't because I'm just a natural fighter. But yeah, he squashed that situation down. It was a wasted scene for production. Everybody mad, and I'm proud of him for not falling for that because that was about to get ugly because he was about to get tag teamed up.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? Both women were enamored with Blue's collage, and Jeffrey was really enamored with it. And then, curiously enough, after that episode, now pictures of them are floating around the internet together. So I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, you can go to my community tab to catch one of those too, by the way. But I think, well, I'm going to say this because I don't know what the ending's going to be like, but I get the feeling, which is one of the reasons why I personally like Blue, not just because he's handsome and has those gorgeous blue eyes, but Blue is a guy that seeks peace. Seriously, on a real serious note, I feel like Blue is the kind of guy that seeks peace, and peace is very important to him. So he's going to get along with everybody on the cast if he can.
But is that a connection? Because I don't see too many peaceful women.
Well, no, but I'm saying to you this: he's already he's also honest, because he has said, like, who was it, Jay that pointed out, or was it Kimberly that pointed out that he does not like Marcia. He sees her as a homegirl. So he's honest. He knows where his connections are, and he was clearly making connection toward Jeffrey. So yeah, I mean, now whether, I don't know what happens after this, but yeah, he clearly had a connection with her, and she caught on, and she, you know, made contact with him. So we'll see. And you know, Ryan, would you have to agree, and maybe Keena, that a lot of the dates, we don't see all the dates?
You don't see all the dates, you know.
Okay, so that part is correct. And then this is what I'm looking for, Ryan. I'm waiting for us to really see the connection and what's really going on. When we're gonna see that is when they go away. When they do that date, what is that called? When they do the group date and they go to a resort or a getaway?
Yeah, by then you should probably kind of see who's connected with who right before then, and then they'll do the getaway, more drama, stir it up. We should know what's going on by then for the most part. Because you're right, the puzzle right now is kind of all over the board.
It's all over the board, exactly. Yeah.
I like, besides the Anthony and and the way I like that connect. I like connections on paper. It looks good on paper. It's good to me, and I think they're a good match on paper.
Hey guys,
you talking about Anthony and Cynthia?
Yeah, Cynthia. Yeah.
Hey, okay. But hey guys, does Blue have any children?
He does.
He does.
They're older. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, he has children, so that part is all set. He's got. So now we get back to that Brady Bunch formula, blended family, right?
Right.
Yeah. He doesn't seem like. Go ahead.
If his kids are older, her kids are very small. You know, they're 9 and below. So
right, the 9 was the oldest child she has. I don't think he'd have a problem with that.
He might not have a problem with that.
Blue's good.
She need to think ahead though, because you got small kids. You looking for a man, and this man owns a lounge. He gonna be gone working at night and whenever he got to be gone. So don't be looking for him to be helping you all late at night and waiting up for him and all that. So you got to think like long term. And like I said, I think she just playing, so she don't care. She picking everybody just to pick.
Well, what were you gonna say, Keita? I heard you laughing over there.
I'm just laughing at Jay because that's so true. Like, this man is not going to be available at all.
Well, sometimes finances help the availability situation. I mean, let's be real.
Why he got to take care of her kids? Like, I'm
talking about long term. I'm talking about, like, i.e. marriage, because that's the way I look at relationships. I don't go into relationships looking at it like, oh, we just dating. Like, you know, I think that's something you do in your early 20s, mid 20s. I think when you get older and you know better, if you're really serious, you date for a long-term commitment. So I'm not saying no, he does not have to absolutely help her out with her children as a man who's only dating her. But down the road, you know, they're looking at something more serious. Yeah, that comes into play.
Kids are the first priority. That means he's number 4 on the list. I mean, yeah. Come on now.
Yeah. And somebody in the chat said Blue has Kenya from Cali says Blue has 1 child. That's what she said.
1 child. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, still he has a child. Okay. I thought someone said, or he said that he had 2.
I don't know. That's why I asked.
It could be a match, but I don't see a long term relationship. It might be one of those ones that might go 2 months after the show, and then you.
Oh, you're such a negative Ned.
Like,
I don't want to say Nancy, so I said Ned.
I like marriage. I'm like you, Aubrey. I like marriages. Like, you know what I mean? I want to see.
I do too. But I think Blue came there. He seems to be sincere and serious. So I really do. I think that he's looking for one. Because something he said earlier, and I can't remember his exact words, but we'll see a little bit more. But as we continue on, Morgan and Tony's date. Let's talk about Morgan and the preacher kid, the PK Tony. Their date begins with a warm and sexy embrace, and both of them complimenting each other. I ain't even talk about your boy Blake being a snooze fest with Johnique. Well, I'll talk about it. I'll say Blake was a snooze fest with Johnique. He didn't really seem to have any interest in her. There was a huge gap. He seemed disinterested. And she also did too.
14-year age gap.
Oh, you know what? I
don't think that has nothing to do with that. No, I don't think that has nothing to do with that. She's very intelligent.
Okay,
she's
what did
very
it have to do with Keena?
she's
Talk
very
about it.
established. He saw her. I don't think that's physically his type. And he was
Yeah,
and
there
he
you
let
go.
it be known. Like he wasn't even
There you
giving her
go.
eye contact when he was talking to her. Like he was just rude, and I would have got up and left. Like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, that's she's too much woman for him. That's what it is. She's not his type physically.
Not his
You
type,
know.
right?
Mm-mm.
And I will say again, I have to give him a half star because I thought he could have did better. But you know, if things aren't what you want and what you need, and vice versa, I mean, I think he did okay. He did okay. He could have done better. He could have done better, I think, but he did okay. I know my man Blue had it been there, he would have handled it in a more appealing way. But you know, Blake, he does the best that he can sometimes. So what can we say? Kimberly, what did you think?
Yeah, I think you all covered it well. I wish they would give us more details about like who they wanted to pair because it does get confusing, kind of like Janique said, feelings change daily. So I would like to know at some point in the season who they thought would pair up or who they thought would be a good pair, and then maybe push them to be together more so. I guess you all who have been on the show have more insight on that, but it just seems like you're just grabbing at what attracts you physically instead of getting to know everyone on the show, and it seems like a lot of time is wasted.
Mm. Mm. Oh my.
Mm. But I think still if you're on a date already, Kimberly, for instance, if you're on a date, Blake and Jonique are there. Okay, she may not be his type physically or whatever. You know, she got that Amazonian thing about her. She's very voluptuous, right? So if she's not
Mm-hmm.
his type, you can still engage in conversation. There's still
Right.
things you can talk about. You know,
Yeah.
don't just sit there looking around a
Gentlemen.
restaurant in space. You know, talk to
Yeah.
the person. You're still at the end of the day, you're still just people.
Yes, I think that would go, but we just knew from the beginning that she was not Blake's type at all, and he didn't even try. I thought it was so disrespectful when she was like,
Yeah.
"Do you have questions for me?" And he was like, "Nope."
Yeah. And that's the part I was
Yeah.
talking about. I can only give him a half a star because I mean I have seen men do worse, but I don't know. Like I think that not only Jeffrey has shown some signs of delusion, but sometimes Blake kind of shows them too. Because I think he thinks them two dimples supposed to open the keys to the kingdom everywhere he goes, and I don't really see it for him. Now, our favorite resident Jeremy couldn't be here today to defend him, so because I know he think that Blake walks on water almost. Woo!
You know who I'm proud of this week? I'm proud of Tony this week with his date.
Really? Oh yeah, so
Yeah,
because we were talking. Okay, so let's talk about that Tony and Morgan. Okay, we glazed over
yeah.
there. What about Tony and Morgan? Because I mean, she just said she's basically smitten with this man. What do you think? Is he smitten with her?
Well, I'm just proud of Tony because this is the first time I've ever heard him not mention the Lord.
You're
Okay,
right.
so
Or they
it's the-
edited it out. Yeah, like
or they
like,
edited it out, right? But we didn't
his
hear it this
go-to.
time.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's his go-to. Praise the Lord. You know, I want a
Right.
godly woman. You know, so I didn't hear that this week unless they did some editing. But she is very, very much seems to be into him. But I think, it's kind of strange, man. I think she's more into him than he is into her. That's what I'm seeing.
Nah,
You know,
heck no.
yeah, no, Ron.
Well,
Why?
he's got a lot of
Oh, no.
he's got his eggs in a lot of different baskets. Because what was it he said? He said that he'd also liked was it? Am I saying her name wrong? Somebody help me with Janique. How do you say her name?
Janique, yeah. Mhm.
Janique. He
Mhm.
liked Janique, and didn't he also say that he liked Marcia?
Yeah, there's 3 that he liked.
He's
Yeah.
keeping
Yeah.
connections, but I would love to see him get comfortable. It's like he feels he's the underdog. You can see in his eyes that everything is just so forced. The extra lip to lips, hand moves. I got to keep as many connections as I can to feel safe. It's all this.
He's such a Ron. He's such a good-looking guy. Why does he feel like he's an underdog? He's a good-looking guy. I gotta admit.
Yeah, but he's still like he's still show the short side a little. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of guys here. You know what I mean? It's a competition wise, and he just feels that way. He has. You could tell. You can see some of the insecurity things that he feels that he got to really just bring it every single time. And you don't got to bring it every single time. Sometimes you got to just lay back and be yourself and be confident and just let it all flow out. You don't have to really force the situations every single injection you get. And Morgan knows they playing her like she's like this inexperienced. That girl knows she's fine.
She's gorgeous.
She knows she is
absolutely gorgeous.
So the fact that they're playing it like Tony, like she's more into Tony and stuff like that. I saw her live when she rolled her eyes at her with Tony. Already, you know what I mean? Like she said, they tried to tell her that she was, that she needed some confidence. She's like, I'm the most confident woman here. She knows what she is. You don't look like that and don't know as a female. So I think this is all a little help with some certain situations that's going on, production and things of that nature. But I don't necessarily see this as the connection.
But what are her other connections?
Wait. You saying that you don't see Tony and Morgan as a connection at all?
I don't at all. I feel that I'm with him. I think that Morgan is the eye candy, and I got to keep her on as long as they can. But yeah, this is definitely not a connection in her eyes. And like I said, Tony, I just need Tony to get into the point. I was trying to wait to the point that he makes it further enough where he's like, okay, I don't got to worry about being eliminated, because you could tell that elimination is on his head. He's trying to compete with the guys. He can't relax and just not force the situation. Really, no, you see the difference between Tony and Anthony. Anthony's calm, cool, being himself, letting it out. Tony's kind of forcing his situations. Anthony kind of keeps his little one or two women that he like, but Tony got to have 4 women because he got to feel safe on elimination day. It's a different type of confidence.
Well, let me ask the ladies, Jay, Kimberly, Cookie, what is it with you? You guys think that Jay just knows she's fine and she going through the motions, making connections, or does she really
I know I'm fine. Yeah, you damn right. I know I'm fine. Shit. No, excuse me. I seen some cash out.
Yeah, catch her over there at IG at the Sexy Tomboy. She is fine, by the way.
Not Jay, y'all. Morgan, he meant. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Morgan, she's fine too. But Jay is very fine.
Jay, you are too. Very photogenic, Jay. Very photogenic.
She's gorgeous. She's a beautiful soul inside and out.
I do believe I think she's fine. I mean, I do believe she believes she's fine, and I'm not taking that away from her. I do think she's playing the wrong game with this man, trying to get his attention or whatnot. And I'm with Ron. I don't see this as a long-term thing. So I don't know if she's just trying to play get back because it's like, I am fine and you need to be paying me attention and you're not, or she just playing to play the game because she's playing around too. I'm not gonna lie, she's playing around.
Wow. Kenya makes an excellent point here. She says that even though Morgan is really fine and she knows it, sometimes being 38, no kids, and wanting to be a wife and a mom will make you insecure. Anybody want to comment on that?
Keena, Kimberly?
Yeah, I agree with Kenya from Cali. I think that's a great point. I'm not really about the insecure part, but I think it does open your eyes a little more and make you more just go harder at what you want, make it more known instead of just sitting back. I don't want to really say aggressive because that kind of gives it a bad light. But at her age, no children, I do think she's trying to be more proactive at securing a man and then maybe doing more of the work of trying to make it work. But I don't see a long-term connection there, unfortunately. But if anyone would be coupled up, I would say Morgan, Tony, Cynthia, Anthony are the 2 couples I'm voting for right now.
But I can't see her feeling so pressured about that either, especially saying that she has never been in love or whatever.
Yeah, now that was different. I didn't expect that from her. Did you guys, Jay, did you feel that she was being sincere about that, or was that just a ploy? What was that?
I mean, if she does, I got to take her word for it. If that's what she says, she might have been it, and she just don't feel like that's what she calls love. But I don't know, so I have to take her word that she's serious on it. And for me to be saying that and be at this age, have no kids or with that, it kind of give me like I'm not pressed about.
It's definitely she's not pressed. She's very nonchalant. She ain't gonna fight for the guys. And let's just talk about the elephant in the room. The top guys are taken right now. So she ain't about to be the type of person who's gonna roll over all the women for Mark Anthony and join that cycle. Anthony looked like he comfortable in his situation. You know what I mean? So when you go down the list, she's stuck with Tony for a second.
Damn, Ron. Damn, Ron.
Did Tony grow on Morgan like a fungus? But anyway, as we continue,
the thing with Tony is he's from New York, so he got that whole New York, mind, just everything is love, everything is life. He got all of that going with him, and she can see like it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So she's just kind of like, all right, like if this is how you want to play it, like she's playing the game because she sees that it's baloney. And I just think that she's doing what she got to do to stay on, but she's really not feeling Tony like that. She was in the beginning, but she's not feeling him.
Okay. And I think at the very least in her life, she's been very infatuated. If she hasn't been in love, she's been infatuated. So it's hard for me to believe she has gone through life and haven't felt anything for anybody that she's ever dated.
She doesn't come across as cold or unfeeling, but infatuated is something we start having as early as 11, 12 years old. We have crushes, we're infatuated, but she says she's never been in love. So I don't know. I don't know, and I don't know, maybe because I know the selection in my generation, now the generation she's in, from what I'm seeing, from looking down at the millennials and whatnot, she may be right. There may not be anybody worth falling in love with.
And Roro got a good question. It depends on what is Morgan's definition of love. What is love to her? What does it look like? Everybody, love looks different.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, go back to what I just said. There may not be a whole stampede. And you and I had this conversation without going into details that, this generation that our children are growing up in is millennials. The pickings are slim for the women. I'm sorry, I said it, and I ain't taking it back.
No.
Pickings are slim. Yeah, they are. And particularly for Black women, because a lot of Black women refuse to date outside their race. So let's be serious about it. So anyway, the ladies' lounge. The ladies meet up, and it's tension as Morgan talks about Tony, and Marcia listens intently. Anthony has made a good impression with Sue Ellen and Mercedes, and DeMario and Blake's name come up for elimination. Wow. Any thoughts on the on this process in the ladies' lounge? And we'll go over that briefly before we get to the elimination dates.
Though I feel like Sue Ann didn't have to address anything with Jeffrey and DeMario situation because she wasn't there. She don't know the ins and outs of their thing. I am glad that somebody did hold her accountable, because it was like just a week ago you were all over this man. So let's be for real. Like, you was all praising DeMario and all this last week. All of a sudden, a week later, you off of him, totally off of him. What are you doing?
Right. You know what? And I did begin to see another side of Jeffrey, because Jeffrey, I had her back. If you guys know, I did. I admit when I'm mistaken, because this episode, things that she said made her sound kind of delusional, and it gave me pause to reconsider. Like, it's just like in an investigation, when somebody makes their credibility look shaky on one thing, you have to go back and recall things that they said and say, you know what? Did they perceive that, or did they describe that in an accurate, matter-of-fact way, or did they kind of dilute it and to give themselves a hype, gas themselves up, and make themselves seem better than? And I'm starting to get that sense with this woman that, like, the things that she says, well, DeMario, the way he came across and everything. Well, yeah, he was upset. And she could have said that to Tommy in the lounge, in the women's lounge, that he came across and he was upset. But it's something about her, the way she hypes herself. I don't.
You can't do that. Like, the number one rule for guys is do not trash me in the ladies' lounge, because you affect all my other connections, because you're throwing out negative information, and that kind of just hovers with the other females. She did that with Blake, threw him under the bus. Nobody asked for her opinion and stuff, and trashed him, then trashed this guy. Like, it's just like, enough's enough. That's why Sue stood up. He was like, "Come on now, like you can't get if you're gonna trash your guys, say on the side, but don't get blurted out in the ladies' lounge like that. It's other ways to do it because you affect his other connections, and that's not right. It's okay for you not to feel them, but don't put them in a negative light with the other ladies. And that's just a rule that we have on Radio Love with the guys. Saying, don't do me like that.
Okay. Yeah. Any thoughts?
Well, look, I knew, that DeMario in the lounge when they were saying DeMario or Blake. I knew when their names came up the most, I knew that DeMario was going to be the one gone because of his behavior after Corvea got voted off. I kind of knew it, and then I knew Blake would come into the elimination dinner, shining them dimples again. See, his dimples been getting him over this whole time. So he came into that date, them dimples was deep.
Ain't nobody thinking
them dimples ain't that good.
Listen,
them dimples is starting to look like, what is it, Roro? What did you call them? Roro had a name for them. She said they look like pits of hell or something like that. I don't know.
Then y'all explain why this man been in the bottom 4 times and he's still here.
Production.
Thank you. The one
whoever ain't keeping that man alive, Ron. Good try though. I like you how you cake for this man. It's production.
No,
you caking for production now.
Susu got some power. She's like, this is like
one woman has the power to keep this man when all the other women in the lounge, many of them named him as specifically as a person.
If you want to if the production feels that you one of the most accomplished females in the group, you got power to do whatever you want to do. And she has power to keep him on right now. I guarantee you that. If you check their resume, come on now. She has power to keep him on.
I'm not saying that she's not accomplished. I think that a lot of those women in the lounge are accomplished, but I'm just saying
different though.
So you're trying to tell me that this one person, okay, well, I mean,
who was the woman on DC? Carmen. Like Carmen had power. Carmen wasn't going nowhere, and whoever she wanted to keep could stay on.
Okay,
but
see,
it's kind of same type.
Then what you're telling me is, and that's fine, but what you're telling me, which is what I've always suspected, is that some people are favorites on this show, and that's what we've been complaining about.
Let me clear that real quick though. Even though Carmen might have power and all that, Carmen still had people that was actually options for her. This man has been voted pretty much by the whole entire female cast.
That's my point.
Off. Susu is the only one that's on here. Even Mercedes has said, I get him, but.
Right. Exactly.
That doesn't matter, though. If you look at my season, Benicia was in the bottom way more times than Blake, if not every episode and stuff. Joelle kept her on.
How is it way more time? Because
we ain't even halfway through the season yet.
Every single episode.
Right. I'm talking about with the vote from the men's lounge vote. Who was in the bottom? Who were we voting off? Because she didn't want no more kids. So because of that, and a lot of guys in our season were kid friendly, wanted kids. So she was always at the least votes. But we knew she was still.
So why are we just gonna try to act like, okay, you know what, you still getting a check from production, so I'm gonna leave you alone, Ron. Okay.
What? I'm just giving you the truth. What are you talking about? What else?
I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it, Jay, but that's funny.
Ron, boy, give me $1. You still getting that money?
So I'm getting money and ain't production money.
Let me put my Cash App up here. What's going on here?
But yeah, I'm saying
mine is right up. Well, it was right up there, but never mind.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
Yeah. So okay, elimination dates. Let's see. We got the elimination dates, and it's Janique. What is it? What am I saying here, guys? Help me out here. Janique and DeMario. Yeah, she takes him out, which I thought was really nice. And Cynthia, which I was surprised actually that it wasn't Sue Ann and Blake, but those individuals go out separately, of course, just on individual dates, and they talk, and we find out that, of course, DeMario is going to be obliterated and eliminated because we know that Blake ain't going nowhere. He's gonna be like P.O. He gonna stick to the end.
Yeah. Yep. He gonna be. He's the new post office because does he deliver?
No.
Kimberly, elaborate on that, Kimberly. Why do you say that he does not deliver? I mean, because you don't feel like he does. He got those dimples. Somebody called him C-pose at the chat. Not me. Allegedly.
No, it's just his personality. He seems shut off, just not open. I'm just not really a fan of his personality at all. I just find him to be rude. So I just keep saying, send Blake home. That's the note I make every week. Send Blake home.
Disconnected. Yeah, rude, arrogant, disconnected. There go that
Yeah.
A word. I'm sorry. I told you on the first episode I saw the A word, and you guys were giving other words that I could have used, but that wasn't it. I said he's arrogant. He is. He comes across as very condescending and very arrogant.
What is wrong with that?
That's what we saw with that's exactly what we saw with Jonique. Rather than, even though he knew he wasn't attracted to her, there is a way that you can behave and be polite. He didn't even want to talk to that woman.
Right.
That's what I mean. He can carry on a casual conversation without wanting a woman. Just be courteous. Have a conversation. You're still two human beings.
Is that our new nickname for Blake? Jamel?
Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop.
Because we want you to come on and do your interview.
Y'all gotta stop.
Hey, I'm just saying.
See, y'all can say whatever y'all want. Y'all know that's a good looking. Y'all know he a good looking dude. Y'all know he got dimples. All right, he got them dimples, and he been surviving off them dimples and his looks.
I'm gonna tell you this: that and $1 would not buy a cup of coffee these days. So dimples and what? Dimples? Okay.
Well, not at Starbucks.
Not too much anywhere. Not too much.
That Houston game is a little. He's from Houston. It's a little more direct. It's a little more arrogant.
He's military. Let's just call it what it is. I know him and I know his type. He's military. I get it. I get him. Like the lady said, I get him, but he's not for me, and he's really not for a lot of ladies. Period.
He's not, but as long as he's being real, the ladies can respect that, and you kind of saw that. Now, on the other hand, y'all was capping on his IG, but did y'all see DeMario's shirt? Come on now, you know this dude is not stylish.
That's all right. I can take him in. DeMario was one of my favorites before he got eliminated, and Blue. But I could take a DeMario because guess what? DeMario is a CPA. DeMario, I can take him shopping. It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
Crazy because when you go on his Instagram,
Instagram is when you say
looks
last
a little bit more stylish. He looks like. I was like, this is the same dude? Whoa.
But you know what? I'm going to tell you something. There's a game, and I'm not saying he's playing. Let me give you an example. I had a friend of mine, very successful entrepreneur on several businesses, paid in full, right? Had bank. But he did something. He would drive around. He had several cars, but he would drive around in the least of them. The older one, was kept up in good condition, kept it washed and all that kind of stuff. But when he drove that car, women would look and they would turn their head and they weren't giving him no play. Now, as soon as he got in his Benzo, guess what? So, see, there are men that are smart enough to recognize that if a woman is just shallow enough to be into you for just what you have, then that's not the kind of woman that he really wants. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Not that advanced.
That's what I said.
And when somebody says CPA and all this other stuff, only thing I believe when I see on the screen is nurse practitioner. I know what that is. I know what that makes. I know what the demand is. Everybody else in these titles.
What's wrong with a CPA? I'm a CPA, Ron. What's wrong with that?
I mean, we got CPAs that make $600,000 a year. We got CPAs that make $6 a year.
Never.
Well, Keita ain't in that category. We got another accountant in this group too. So chime in if you want to accountant.
No, I highly doubt. If you pass your license to get a CPA, there is a certain class of money you're going to be making. So DeMario is doing well for himself. Break it down. Sis. Education doesn't matter. Living in Miami, so I mean, the shirt was a little off.
Miami-ish.
The shirt was a little off, but I mean, he's in Miami. Yes, I don't know.
Why can't it just be his style? I mean, you guys.
First of all, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play devil's advocate and not like all the women be coming over here and saying production picked this outfit. Production picked his outfit too. Okay, damn it, that's what happened. It is not his outfit.
That's not how that works. That was the best.
Wait a minute.
Mario is a nice.
Does production pick the outfits sometimes, or the choices that
you have to get them approved?
Okay.
So
that was the best he had. He had two other choices that was worse than that. That's the one that got picked.
But you know, listen.
So what? The man can't dress. I'm sure there's other things he's better at. Wink, wink.
But Cooksy,
I don't have a problem with it. I'm going at Takina because she said his IG was popping so much and he was so stylish.
but
And I was
see,
waiting to see it.
You guys
And
are
I was
Have you been on the page? If you go
I
on
haven't
the
seen it
page,
yet. I haven't seen it yet.
it does not. It looks like a totally different person. Literally,
Right.
like I had to look at it twice. Like it's not the same dude.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did he do the thing, Keena? Did he do the thing? The guy with the little curly Q. What's his name? Andre. They had the little curly Q. Did he
Yeah,
do a
even
number?
Andre got cornrows to the back. I'm like, this not the same dude. Like he looks different.
I hollered. Well,
yeah.
guys,
And listen, though, but Cookie know this more than anybody else. Okay, Keena took about 600 pictures when she was part of the show, and they're going to use the one with the black dress, and then everybody was riding Keena about that. You know, that's not the one she would have picked, Keena. That's not the one you would have picked. Why the production picked that one?
Keena, talk about that a little bit before we go off.
Only because like two people can't have the same color dress. So they be like, okay, what's your color dress? And if you're not proactive about getting your looks in first, then those colors are gone. You know what I'm saying? So I had a green dress. Joy already had a green dress. There was a pink dress. So you can't, they don't want everybody in the same color. And that's pretty much how it works.
Okay, but didn't you take other more attractive pictures with the black dress
well, I
on?
mean, it's all strategy. Like it's all strategy. Like there was so much with that. Yeah, I took 1,000 different pictures, and then I even emailed, you know, production in LA. Like, why would y'all choose this picture? Like, why would y'all do this? And they told me it was strategy because I was the first one to went home. So this is how they do it. You know what I'm saying?
The editing backwards. Alex, you might be able to speak to that. So once they've got the film together, they see who's being eliminated. Now they go back and purposely make you look less attractive on your pictures.
I mean, regardless of that, I definitely feel because I feel like this cast actually look good, but previously I feel like they really take low budget, like they put out low budget pictures. Like when you're
everybody had a bad picture on
when you're taking your picture, when you're taking your picture, you feel like, oh, this is wonderful. You know what I'm saying? But then when you see it, you like, this look like I took this picture on an Android. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, why does this picture look like this?
Wait a minute, Android. I'm over here with my Android. Leave me alone.
That's what I'm saying. The disrespect be real up in here.
Yeah. I got me a droid.
Just wait till we come over there and the audacity.
Hey, if I post all these pictures off of my Android right now, they'd be over there ashamed that they got that daggone little Apple.
That's right.
You tell them. Guys, say goodbye. We're on our way out of here.
All right. Well, I enjoyed this a lot. Again, I'm taking my victory lap. Corvea is gone. I knew she'd be gone. So thank you, everybody.
Why don't you just go ahead and put you got the headphone. Why don't you just take your thumb and take your little free fingers and do like you're 6 years old and say, Okay, Ron, Jay, Keena, Kimberly, let's all say bye now.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.